Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
The FBI now speaking to Capitol Police about interviewing the 6 Democrats with military and intelligence backgrounds in that video, telling U.S. troops and intelligence officers that they can refuse illegal orders. The 4 House Democrats in the video saying, quote, "No amount of intimidation or harassment will ever stop us from doing our jobs and honoring our Constitution." Michigan Senator Elissa Slotkin, a former CIA officer, saying, quote, "The president directing the FBI to target us is exactly why we made this video in the first place. He believes in weaponizing the federal government against his perceived enemies and does not believe laws apply to him or his cabinet," she writes. "My next guest is a Medal of Honor recipient. U.S. Marine Sergeant Dakota Meyer received our nation's highest military honor for saving 36 lives, including 13 Americans in Afghanistan. He repeatedly ran into an ambush zone under heavy enemy fire to save his fellow Marines and civilians as well in Afghanistan in 2009. And for that, we honor his service, and we are honored to have Sergeant Meyer with us now. Sergeant, great to have you back with us. You are once again an active duty Marine, and so we thank you very much for your prior and present service to our country. Great to have you with us.
Thank you so much. And reservist.
Reservist. So let me just play this from Mark Kelly. This is from MS Now on Monday night. Watch.
I spent 25 years in the United States Navy. I flew 39 combat missions over Iraq and Kuwait. Let me start by saying I never questioned any order. And you're required to follow all legal orders. You're also required not to follow illegal ones.
So what do you think about this? When you look at this back and forth and you hear about the investigation, the questions that are being asked of these former military and intel officials, what's your reaction?
I think first off, anytime you have to, it's unacceptable. It's absolutely, the potential effects of this could be catastrophic. This is not a partisan issue. And I think a telltale sign is first off, Senator Kelly, you should not try to be a tough guy. You should back up. You should stick in your lane. I got 39 missions, whatever. But I think that what was concerning to me when I first heard this was my biggest fear was, do they now not trust our men and women in uniform? Is that what they're trying to, throw out there? Because if that's not it, day one, we are taught to not follow illegal orders, right? Like unlawful orders. I mean, this is the basics. I mean, this is something that's reiterated every time you raise your right hand to re-enlist or any aspect of that. It's something that is practiced every single day. And so it's not something that needs to be reminded of to all people of our troops, but it's the intentions behind it. Yes, they are skirting their legal aspect of it, but they're also manufacturing an issue that is just not there, simply as you've seen past this. I mean, I was fully expecting them to come out with what has been illegal orders and all this, and none of them can answer that. And really what my question, and the question that needs to be asked to all of them is, do you just not trust our men and women in uniform anymore? Is that the issue? Or is it the fact that you don't like what the president's doing? And I think that with this being an isolated issue, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But when you've heard them over the past few weeks call things they didn't like illegal, and then you see judges overrule it, from Venezuela to the National Guard deployment to Iran, every time the president does something or this administration does something, they automatically go to that aspect of illegal when it's not true. So where is this? And I just think that there needs to be accountability.
So when you say that it could be catastrophic when this message is sent to our men and women in uniform, what do you mean? What do you envision as a catastrophe, potentially, as a result of this?
Yeah, Martha, I mean, it's not like you go to war and these things are black and white, and you're fighting an enemy today, especially that's in uniform, that shows up there. I mean, with the enemy living amongst where they live at, like it's not like you're going to a battlefield like back in World War I, where you're only having the enemy on the battlefield. I mean, the enemy today, I mean, they are living amongst the population and the civilians, and the complexity of the environment is insane. And, it's already complex with these rules of engagements to these locations that these people, these lawmakers, are the very ones that make the decisions on what we do. And then they make the rules of engagement that we have to follow. And then, when we come back and we're having to make these decisions in these complex situations, and now we have to worry about if the law is going to stay the same, depending on what political administration is in.
How do you feel about the investigation into this video and the fact that these members are being questioned about their motives in making it? Do you think that's a legitimate investigation?
I think that if we don't hold the line on this, Martha, and you can mark my words right now, if we don't hold the lines on this and we don't make the uniform and messing with our men and women who are willing to volunteer to serve our country and willing to give their lives and put their lives on the line, if that can be used as political points and we don't draw a line there, I don't know where it will stop. And that has got to be something that is out of bounds. It's out of lane, out of the lane. Like, they cannot use this. And I expect them to fully be held accountable the same way I would expect myself to be held accountable if I followed an unlawful order.
I don't think anybody can say it better or with more authority. Medal of Honor recipient Sergeant Dakota Meyer, thank you very much, sir, for your service once again. We wish you a happy Thanksgiving, and thank you for making your points here today. We appreciate it.
No, thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving.
You as well.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.